Everybody, welcome to the Batman Arkham City video. Now, this video has been weeks. It's been weeks in the process, and I just got some bad news, man. I'm not 100% in that shit. Straight up, that that game is so annoying. I'm still gonna make a YouTube video. We're still gonna talk about it. I'll show you why. Because I did attempt. I think I had an overall save file of like 72%, but you know when I first played it, I was already like 10 years old. So, replaying it over and over, it just wasn't for me. So it might be a little disappointing, but I also wanted to move on to Batman Arkham Origins and Batman Arkham Knight to 100% those. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
I feel I should thank you. Capturing Bruce Wayne is so much easier than Batman. And now that we have you, Protocol 10 is ready to begin.
Now, as the video goes on, you'll also notice that I'm putting just a bunch of clips of the story in like chronological order, just trying to tie in like the main events with the story. It might not match up with my voice, but just letting you guys know. So the main gist of the story is, Bruce Wayne, he gets incarcerated, he gets arrested into Arkham City. Now it's like a city, it's an experimental city with, all the villains, and it's the Rogues Gallery again. You got Two-Face, you got Mr. Freeze, you got the Penguin, and then now Hugo Strange. I didn't know who Hugo Strange was until the game started. Apparently he's like in the comics, he was like a prominent figure, I don't know. But when he started off and he said Bruce Wayne's better than Batman, I was like, nah, nah. I was like, the game's over, and that was just the first 5 minutes of the game. The intro to the game is absolutely phenomenal. You first show up in your little suit, your little three-piece suit, your little tie, suit and tie. You got your buttons, and you get to experience what it's like to be Bruce Wayne for the first time in the Arkham series. And then you go from there. You do some stupid parkour that's kind of janky. I have missed the Ace Chemicals building plenty of times, and you go from there and you do the craziest suit I've seen in the world, the most badass suit I've seen. Like, I don't know how you top it. Well, you could top it with the Arkham Knight or the Arkham Origins. That we'll get to those when we get to those videos. But anyways, that thing was amazing. I was like, nah, this is crazy. I love this. Now your whole goal is to find out after you get arrested by Hugo Strange. Got a little sidetracked there. You have to find out what Protocol 10 is. And you get like a news report and you're like, oh, Catwoman's blah blah, and the thing with Two-Face. You beat up some thugs, it was a great intro, action right off rip, nothing crazy. You don't really need no introduction anymore. We know the characters from the first game. And then, I mean, you're Batman fans. You should just know the characters anyways. But with that being said, you go to save Catwoman from the courthouse. You go figure out Protocol 10, you save her, and then the Joker attempts to assassinate either you or her. I really don't know, but he missed either way, so who cares? And you have to go, and so the city, Arkham City, is divided into like zones for the gangs, because it's like the Penguin gang, then you got the Joker gang, then you got like some rundown buildings that Mr. Freeze is in, chilling over there. Poison Ivy has her own little isolated building. Everybody has their own like turf. You're like, oh, where's the Joker at? And you go to find the Joker because you think he's behind Protocol 10 or know something about it. And when you go and find him, you just see he is butt ugly. It looks like someone rubbed his face in some dirt. So, you get tricked because Harley Quinn and the Joker only did one right thing one right time, and they tricked Batman for the first time. Like, I was like, damn, Batman's kind of stupid. And so, Batman gets tricked. He gets his ass rocked by all the goons after saving all the doctors. And Joker reveals his true face, and he's sick from the Titan formula from Batman Arkham Asylum, and he's dying. So not only did he send his blood all over Gotham, he also reveals that he kind of just gave you a blood transfusion, which is actually disgusting, you know. And knowing some medical things, that's kind of gross. Like someone just like beat you up and put the blood in you, and now you kind of have his blood, and you don't know what he got besides the Titan formula. What if Batman got AIDS? That would have been a whole new DLC. Then you kind of like team up with him unwillingly, which is really cool to see like Batman and Joker be like kind of like acquaintances for a certain point of the game because they kind of like need each other to exist in some way, not in the Arkham series specifically, but if you look at any Joker and Batman media, that usually that's the case. The Joker needs Batman to be alive to make him like the Joker. Like they kind of like run off each other. It's the same side of a different coin type of thing. So you have to search for the cure. And when you search for the cure, of course, it's just one thing after another. That's really the whole story is one thing after another. It's a great story. Either way, you go to find Freeze, and then they're like, Mr. Freeze is kidnapped by the Penguin, and you're like, son of a bitch. So then now you got to go across the city. You got to go find the Penguin, and when you go find the Penguin, then the jammers are jammed, and you got to go find some damn jammers all around the city. It's like kind of like a thing that you keep doing, and you have to go find the jammers. You go back inside the museum into the penguins' territory. Of course, the worst part of the map, in my opinion. I absolutely cannot stand that part of the map. And you go and you find the penguin. You don't find them, but like when you whoop his ass, then he pulls up Solomon Grundy, which is like foreshadowed throughout your whole time going through the museum and the underground and like figuring out the jammers. So it's kind of like you kind of got prepped for a boss fight you didn't think you would do, which was pretty cool in my opinion. I liked it. And then after finding the penguin, he lets Freeze go. You find Mr. Freeze, you let him go. Whatever you know the story. Whatever. Anyways, Mr. Freeze is like, you bring him back to his suit, and he tells you, he goes, look, like honestly, we ain't got the materials for that, fam. We can't do it, fam. Being Batman, one of the ninjas of Ra's al Ghul of the League of Shadows breaks out, and you put a tracker on her. Or no, you chase her blood. Forensic trail the blood. You track her down, and once you track down the ninja or whatever you want to call her, she brings you to the League of Shadows' base operating under Arkham City. I'm not gonna go into depth and explain who they are because fuck that. Uh, you should know who it is. It's just like assassins. The whole thing is you gotta now stop Protocol 10. Protocol 10 was basically just to get all the inmates and things like that and all the criminals in Arkham City just to blow them up with the Tiger troops. That was Doctor Strange's goal. And you're like what the fuck? And you also figure out throughout the story as you're like looking around that Doctor Strange is being backed by someone, and it's like a mysterious figure, and you're like, who? So it's like a whole detective story that's like full of just action all the time. It's a great story. The only complaint I would say about the story overall, Batman is poisoned the whole game. You're kind of in a rush to do the story to cure Batman because you're like, holy shit, like you feel timed, even though you're not, you feel timed. And throughout the game, cool little details, you could see the veins in Batman's like face and the part of the mask where the mouth is, that you could see that he's like slowly dying. So it's cool, but you kind of don't have time for side missions, or you feel like you don't. So you try not to do them. Now, as of course I went through the story, I'm doing my side missions. We did the Ra's al Ghul boss fight. He gave you a sippy sip of the little chalice, little sippy sip of the Lazarus pit, and it made you like super duper strong, back to normal. Like you felt good again for the first time since the beginning of the game. The boss fight with Ra's al Ghul, you get out of there. You get a sample of his blood because his blood has the enzymes to make the cure. And then Mr. Freeze decides to be a douchebag and turn on you. He's like, you gotta find my wife Nora.
Welcome, I found Batman!
But why the fuck? Same story as always with him, old bald man. And you go, you whoop his ass, which was one of the best like boss fights I think of like 4 games. Not that there's not any good boss fights, but I think that's the only Predator like boss fight that you gotta do different play styles, different moves, different takedowns, just to get him because he was adapting mid fight. Like it was crazy, and everything's frozen too. You can't even use advantage points. Like they really like screw you there. It was really good. So then you go back to the Joker. And the Joker's like, I'm back, because, of course, while you were fighting, Harley took the cure. He goes in, fights everyone, and then he ends up being trapped. Now, I'm not going to show a lot of gameplay of the Catwoman DLC, because in my opinion, I did not like playing as Catwoman. She is awful. Get on that when we get to the challenge part of the video. I didn't like that shit at all. So, I probably won't show any gameplay of it. I died a lot so many times, I almost threw my controller. With Catwoman, you have to make a big decision. If you want to save Batman, or just take the money from the vault and leave. And so course, just to get all the trophies, I made a decision to leave.
Screw him.
Bye, Selena.
Joker's forces are too strong. My father's dead. Now everybody's dead. We're going to lose. Wayne Manor has been compromised. Joker's won. I can't believe I'm saying this. He's won. There's nothing we can do. Bruce is dead. He's gone. They're all gone. If you can hear this, send help, please.
Such a dark ending. Millie Rocket in reverse. And then, you know, the real story of the game is that you gotta drop the suitcases, save Batman because he whooped the Joker's ass, but then he got hit by like a train or something, I forgot, and the building fell on him. Oh, it's because of Protocol 10 started. And then you go from there. Catwoman saves Batman, and then you see that your girl, this daughter of Ra's al Ghul, Talia, gets kidnapped, and Batman's like, nah, I won't be having it. So since he won't be having it, of course, you know, you just have to go and get all the codes. You got to stop Doctor Strange at Protocol 10 because, you know, Alfred and Barbara and everyone convinces you that, you know, Batman needs to save 100 people or thousands of people rather than just one person he really liked. So, of course, being Batman, you go and you stop Protocol 10, and then you figure out that Dr. Hugo Strange was backed by Ra's al Ghul the whole time. So literally, the villain the whole time was the guy you whooped like a quarter into the game or like halfway through the game. So when that happens, then of course, you know, you Protocol 11 happens, blows up Wonder Tower. You stop Protocol 10. Hugo Strange dies in the explosion. Ra's al Ghul, since he's already died a million times, you don't mind killing him again. And in a free fall, he kind of like just stabs himself. I probably will provide the clip. I don't think this voice will match up with it, but you'll see it somewhere in the video that you'll just see it like he kind of dies like kind of stupid. They're killing Ra's al Ghul. Then it's like, okay, the Joker teases you with the little video, and he's like, yo, girlfriend, here that I decided to kill this here. You know, whatever. That's my Joker impression. Laugh if you want. And so you got to go and save your girlfriend. So that's exactly what Batman does, because after saving his city, he wants to save his girlfriend because he's Batman. That's it. That's it. He can literally do whatever he wants. So Batman goes, and turns out the whole time, once Harley Quinn stole the cure, Joker has been showing all the inmates while you're going through your playthrough that he's been cured this whole time, and he still has one more cure for you. So him holding the cure hostage, and you know, you've been seeing like he's like, I'm perfectly healthy again, and everyone's like, the Joker's back, whatever. And they see it in the TVs, they see it everywhere, him walking around. Turns out when you go to the movie theaters, after taking down the stupid snipers, it's not the Joker. This whole time it was Clayface pretending to be the Joker. The Joker never took the cure without Batman because it's, like I said, the two sides of the same coin. So, you know, they need each other. And, you know, regardless of all the harm the Joker does, you know, Batman always saves the villain. So it's like, it's just his moral code. That's what makes him different than the villains themselves. So, and it's a big thing. They touch up on it, obviously, in Arkham Knight, as you guys know. And we'll probably get to that when we get to that video. But, you know, the Joker saves the cure for Batman, and then you got to do a Clayface boss battle, which is awesome. I love using the damn sword. You use Ra's al Ghul's sword. I don't even know how he got it, if I'm being completely honest. But you use Ra's al Ghul's sword. You slice up Clayface. You use your little frozen freeze mind blast, whatever. Another gadget that Batman has, because that belt carries everything except the gun. So, you know, you stop that, and then Batman takes a cure. You finally get cured, right? You've been waiting all game to get cured. And once you get cured, Joker stabs him and he drops the cure. You know, then the Joker ends up just, you know, dying. Now we're going to get to the side missions, right? It'll probably still like be clips of the main story depending on the voicing and all that stuff. Some clips of the side story, because I did a lot of side missions throughout my main playthrough. So with the side missions, it wasn't too bad. These side missions, it wasn't overwhelming but it wasn't like underwhelming. Like I think it was a good amount, keep you busy for a while. The Riddler is the worst side mission of them all, and we'll get there when we get there. So, the side missions, we have the Arkham Assault, the acts of violence. We got the Bat Computer, the AR training. The Riddler is the Enigma Conundrum, stupid Riddler. You got Bane, the Fragile Alliance, which I thought was a good side quest. You got Zaz, the Cold Call Killer. That one was miserable. I think that one's stupid. Of course, you got the Heart of Ice, which is Nor Freeze. You got the Stolen Freeze Tech, Hot and Cold. I think that one was a kind of stupid side mission. I think they just put it in to get you a free upgrade just to even out the spacing of the equipment that you get in the game. But whatever. I never use that upgrade. And then you got Hush, Identity Theft, which was such a good setup for Arkham Knight, but they kind of folded in that game. We'll get there when we get there. I know I've said that a lot, but here we go. Then you got the Iceberg Lounge, the Remote Hideaway. I don't even remember what that one was. I think it's like an upgrade. I think it's an upgrade for the Disruptor, I believe. I could be wrong. And then you got Deadshot, Shot in the Dark, which I thought was a good side quest until you do the boss fight. I kind of finished the boss fight in under a minute. It was kind of like whatever. And then you got the Mad Hatter, the Tea Party. If I put any clips of it, you might see it. But the Mad Hatter Tea Party was a good side quest. The only issue is when you're done, he's kind of crying on the table, and the crying kind of hurts my ears. So if you hear the gameplay of it, maybe I'll clip it, put it out somewhere. But it's just bad. And then you got the Azrael Watcher in the Wings. That shit is awesome. I like that side quest. Not that it's crazy, but it's very mysterious and it's not too difficult. So you're like, you know what, let's just do it. And you find the 4 locations, and it kind of sets up for something in Arkham Knight that I enjoyed a lot. So those are the side quests. They weren't bad. All of them you could kind of finish in your first playthrough as you're going through the story. The only one that you won't finish on time is the Riddler, of course, the Enigma Conundrum. In this game, he has 400. In Arkham Knight, he has 240 something, I think it is, and in Arkham Asylum, 240 something, and I do not know about Arkham Origins. But in Arkham City, he has 400 Riddler trophies, challenges, uh, the detective mode screenshots, whatever you want to call them. He has all that together is a combined for 400. So in that map, imagine, not that Arkham City was a huge map, but bro, 400 was overkill. That was my main problem with the game, was the overkill, and that's part of the reason why I did not 100% it. Game was riddled, no pun intended. It was riddled with overkill because it was just too much. 400, you have to get 400 trophies, riddles, things like that combined. And after getting 400, you're already kind of like burnt out. I am a completionist to a certain extent, but this was just ridiculous. Like, it was too much. And so I was like, all right, let's do this. And throughout my story, you'll probably see that I was doing like some side quests. You'll see some clips of it. I was, doing the Riddler trophies. I was backtracking a lot. It took me a while to beat the game. And I was like, you know what, I'm taking my time with it because I was like, that's fine because I'll have most of the Riddler stuff done. I didn't have shit done. I think I was at like 190 something when I finished the whole story. It was like crazy. I was like, bro, what the I was like, what is this? So after finishing all that, which took hours and hours and hours and hours, I was like, okay, let's do the challenge maps. If the challenge maps were anything like Arkham Asylum, it wouldn't be too difficult. Or it would be difficult, but it wasn't like overkill, wasn't a lot. And then I looked to 100%. Turns out to 100% your save file, because at this point I was like, I'm not even going to do the Steam trophies, because the Steam trophies you had to get 200 challenge map trophies with Batman, Catwoman, Nightwing, and Robin. I was like, nah. 4 people, 200 and something trophies. That's already what, 2, 4, 800, 800 trophies around. Let's just say more or less 800 trophies. And then you still have to do the campaign maps that are 90 trophies each. So imagine 90 trophies and the 200. So you're getting like 290 trophies. You're getting like 900, 1,000 trophies. I don't know, my math is adding up, but don't make fun of me. It's just, it was too much. And I was like, bro, there's no way. I still have to play 2 other Batman games. I have like a life. This video alone took a long time to come out just because I've been dealing with a bunch of things. It's not the end of the world. I still needed to make a video, because I wanted to, entertain. I mean, that's the whole point. I like being a YouTuber. I consider myself one. I mean, yeah, I'm not successful, but I'm a YouTuber and I'm having fun, so I like it. But, I was like, I'm just gonna make this video, and I finished with like an overall save of like 72% because on top of that, I still had to do New Game Plus and 100% all the side missions again in New Game Plus. I was like, nah. I was like, no, 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 that's not happening to me. So I gave up on the trophies once I did the challenge maps, and I actually did like I think I got like 80 trophies with Batman. But the thing is, the characters get harder and harder because they don't have the gadgets and the things and the skills that Batman has. So it gets even worse. I was like, no, 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 I'm not doing that. I had 2 other games to 100%. Now the good thing is that I can do whatever I want, when I get the chance to. So we could easily just return to this game in 100%. I'll get my revenge. I can make a YouTube video out of it. I'll keep you guys updated, those of you that watch. I'm very sorry it's been a while since I made a YouTube video, but that's okay. I got a lot in the progress. I think I got an Ultimate Spider-Man 1 coming in. I don't know if you guys like that game. One of the best games in the world. I got still the camo grind videos, believe it or not, for Call of Duty. I still have to do the other 2 Batman Arkham games, and then I might do a Fallout video. I don't even know. I have so many ideas. It's just more of executing in the time and the quality of the videos that I put out. I want you guys to actually enjoy these things, but I'm also very straight up and very plain and simple in my YouTube videos. I don't like to do all the pizzazz and the thumbnails, and I don't really care. I just want to put out content that people enjoy and just be real with everyone. So, you know, I hope you guys, heard everything, understood, whatever. And that is why I will not be 100%ing this game. And I still enjoyed the playthrough. I still like the game. I still think it's one of the best. But it's something I can return to later, you know, when I'm done with the other games. And, maybe I come back and break it down, take my time, get it done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you guys, all the subscribers, my 108 subscribers. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.